Did you have already through the Navy SEALs training in that?
Yeah, did.
Okay. So that's interesting. I wasn't really sure about that aspect within the SEALs because, again, it's like, you're usually kitted up going in and kicking doors. I wouldn't associate that together, but
Most guys don't. I got lucky, and I got some training with the MI6. I lucked out.
The MI6, like the British MI6?
Yeah, when I was in the teams.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not terribly exciting to talk about, but I don't mind going through it. We were going to go into Bosnia, basically, and we were going to be hunting war criminals.
Huh.
Back
Sounds
when the
fun.
Bosnia-Kosovo stuff was going on.
Yeah.
I got yanked from that and put into Afghanistan because that was more important at the time, obviously. But yeah, they brought in a team of MI6 guys to actually teach us how to blend in, how to follow somebody in a team of 4, how to act if you're following somebody and they compromise you, start talking to you. What do you do if I follow you into the elevator and we're heading up to the 20th story of the Bank of America building and you ask me what time it is and I shit my pants, and that's what I did the first time. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to be following this guy. But they teach you, how to be comfortable in situations. If you're following somebody in a mall and you're a 23-year-old guy who they put you in uncomfortable places. So let's say, you're following a woman who goes into Victoria's Secret, and now you got to go into Victoria's Secret as a as a male and act like you're not following this woman, and how to act and how to ask questions. So what do you do
in that situation?
You got to get comfortable real quick, and you have to plan. You have to kind of pre-plan this stuff. Like, what am I going to do if this person thinks I'm following them and they turn around and ask me, hey, what time is it? Hey, why are you following me?
So what would be like a basic thing you'd do in that situation? I mean, you say act comfortable real quick, but you just like answer them with the time and then keep going, or
yeah,
that's it.
Yep. I mean, it's up to you how you present yourself, but the wrong thing to do would be like, it's 10:32. Because then that's that's a dead giveaway. So yeah, the correct thing to do would be like, oh yeah, it's almost dinner time. It's 4:30, 4:45, and that's, you have to act like you belong. And that's extreme. That's like, as easy as it sounds, it's extremely hard to do when the pressure's on.
Do you have
what do you do? How do you, when somebody thinks they're being followed and they start speeding up and you lose them? Are you going to speed up and follow them? Because that's another tactic that people will use.
Well, what do you do in that situation?
You just drive past them and let somebody behind you in the team follow up.
Oh, because you got bad.
Or if you lose them, then you lose them. But losing them, you pick them back up somewhere else. But you do not want to fucking compromise yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they think you're following them on the highway and they hit 100 miles an hour and start weaving in and out of traffic, the thing you don't want to do is go 100 miles an hour and start weaving in and out of traffic right after them. You just continue on, normal day, and hopefully their paranoia drops. They teach you how to make a pattern of life and how to work outside of that.
Yeah, Andy and I have talked about this. So can you explain that just for people who haven't heard that episode? When you say pattern of life, this is you. Andy was explaining it in a context of like, this is how they catch people if they're a spy, because they look at the one thing that they switch up or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That is what they do. You figure out people's pattern of life, they figure out your pattern of life. Another reason this shit's all important is because you're the thing that this stuff gets really complicated, but when you're out there and you are surveilling and you are using tradecraft and following people, you also have all these other entities, China, Russia, Iran. They're all in these places too. And so it becomes this enormous spy game where you're like, shit, that's who I want to go after. But this guy who's following me can't know that I'm after that guy, because then they'll try to get to that guy first. And this motherfucker over here, you know what I mean? And so it's identifying all all of these different spy games happening all at the same time when you only have one goal. And so you see how complicated this shit can get, you know,
Very complicated.
And then conducting surveillance on their spies to figure out where their safe house is, what vehicles are they driving, what vehicles do we need to watch out for, what kind of equipment do they have. And so it's really, it's a, we call it 360, 720 game where it's, you got to be on, look up, down, everywhere around, every angle, you know, somebody's on your ass. But what, I'm sorry, what was the pattern of life question?
Yeah, you kind of answered it through that a little bit, I think, but just to be clear, like for the people that hadn't heard it, when you say establishing a pattern of life, let's say you drop into an area, right, and this is where you're going to have a job for whatever, a year, whatever it is. You need to, the way Andy explained it is you have to set up like, well, I have this front business and at 9 o'clock I go here, at 5 o'clock I go here, and my wife cooks dinner at 7, and that's how it needs to be all the time. And if I break that, I'm going to get caught by somebody.
Yeah, pretty much. So everybody has a pattern of life, you know? So most people, they work 9 to 5 job. They get up, make a coffee. They go to the same gym every day. Then they go to the same Starbucks every day. They park in the same parking lot, in the same parking spot. They go to the same cubicle. They come out, they go home. Every Friday night, they go watch their football game at their favorite bar. And so you see, like, you develop this pattern of life. You have a daily pattern of life, a weekly pattern of life, a monthly pattern of life, a yearly pattern of life. And so you build this pattern of life. What a lot of people will do is they'll build this pattern of life because it shows that they're unassuming. Does that make sense? So it's, okay, this is just Julian. He's just here to get his fucking coffee every day.
Yeah.
He's not a threat. You know what I mean? And it makes people become lackadaisical when you get inserted into a place and build your pattern of life and people see your routine, they become lackadaisical. Even people that are surveilling you become lackadaisical. Nothing's more boring than following your ass from your house to the coffee shop every single day for a year. You know what I mean?
Until the one time.
And by the time that one time happens, they're so lackadaisical because they've seen you do the exact same shit every fucking day for a year. That's when you slip it in.
But when you're doing these, you said they could be 45 day, 120 day. That you weren't really doing stuff where like you're in one place for 2 years or 3 years or something.
No.
So what kinds of, and again, I don't know how, you go as specific as you can, but like what kinds of things would be a cover? And also, did you have diplomatic help? Like if you got caught, were you deniable to the government or?
Yeah, I'm deniable. You know, I mean, CIA loves contractors for a reason. You know what I mean? So they do. I mean, the majority of it is comprised of contractors, not employees. And that's one of the reasons.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.